Okay, we'll start with a very big question. In your opinion, what do you think makes a man? You know, how can you be defined as a man in today's society?
Oh, man, I think you need to be a man of your word. I think you need to stand for something. Otherwise, as the cliche goes, you stand for nothing. It really is important for you to know yourself, as Shakespeare said, know thyself, and then, to thine own self be true. And that really is just knowing what you want to achieve in life and then having the morals and ethics and integrity to stick with it and not to chase trends. I'm a big fan of, the 1950s and 60s and in the way that there was a separation of work and home life and you really took care of your family. And so those things are important to me. And what's really most important is that everyone identifies what is important to them and they focus on it and they don't get caught up in chasing shiny objects.
I mean, do you think that's one of the biggest challenges we're faced today is that materialism, you always want more and more, that you can't settle for what you have or be happy with what you have?
I think it is something like that. And so I've actually put together a little diagram on this, and I call it the number one source of friction in the first world. And it is, seeing somebody like, let's say I was thinking of, just starting an online business, and I see you with this podcast and all these great people on it, and even though I'm not very good at interviewing or I don't like to do it, I think that, hey, you're doing it and you're successful, well, I better go and do it too. And then I go and see, some other guy doing YouTube videos, and I think, oh my goodness, well, I need to be doing YouTube videos. And you do all of these things that are not in your zone of genius because you see other people succeeding and you think the grass is greener on the other side, but you don't know all the hard work that they went through and, all the struggles and trials and tribulations that they're going through. And so you start chasing those shiny objects, and then that causes you to have a misalignment between your goals and your actions. So if you say that you want to go and, write a book, but now you're doing podcasts and YouTube videos, your actions are misaligned with your goals, and that causes a lot of friction mentally. And so now you're just kind of in this dazed and confused state. You're overwhelmed. You're anxious. You're thinking, oh, I got to go and do all these things. My book's not getting done. And if you just stopped doing the things that didn't matter and that really weren't important to you, you'd have more time for what is important to you, and then you get a lot closer to your goals. And the way that we overcome that, Ian, is we get outside eyes on the problem. You hire a mentor or a coach, or you sit there and think objectively about your life and your actions. And then you get that coach or mentor to set a higher bar for your activities and your standards, and you are forced to play up to that level with accountability. And when you have that in place, the outside eyes on your activities, giving you feedback and a higher level for your performance, that's when you start to really get in the groove and achieve what you should be achieving in life.
Yeah, I mean, I've played around with the, sort of process of accountability. Could you give an example of, like, an accountability practice that you've maybe done yourself?
Well, I think the one thing that people can do if you can't hire a coach is to, be a part of a Facebook group or, online forum where there's like-minded people there. And what you would do is you would share your big goals and dreams with all those people there. And you would say, hey, listen, I want to go and I want to stop smoking, or I want to lose 10 pounds, or I want to write a book in the next 10 weeks. And you say that, this is my real name. This is me. Here I am. I need you guys to hold me accountable, and I want to go and do this. And so that's one way of getting accountability that's going to allow you to be more successful in life. So that's what, is really, really important and allows you to focus on what matters. And that is one of the keys to accountability. Now, if you can hire a coach or a mentor, by all means, you should get it. And then make sure that they never go soft on you. So you have to be drawing a hard line. You have to be saying, hey, listen, I know that you can do more. I know that you can play up a level. And so that's what you need to focus on there.
Yeah, I mean, I did that with my brother. I wrote him a check, and if I think it was 3 podcast episodes by the end of the year. When I first started, then he could cash it. And it was just the thought of him having my money motivated me to do it. And I know it's...
That's exactly it, man. That's perfect. It's a great example. And then you went out and nailed that goal, right?
Oh, yeah.